We're ready to rumble.
From Wildman Field on the campus of South Putnam High School in Greencastle, Indiana, we welcome you to coverage of high school football on the IHSAA Sports Network, where it's week one across the state of Indiana, the start of the 2026 season. And tonight, here in Putnam County, it's a long-time rivalry. The North Putnam Cougars take on the defending 1A state champions, the South Putnam Eagles. Alongside Jared Thomas, I'm Rob Connett. Thanks for joining us. Jared, all that preseason work gets put to the test here tonight. Let's see what you got. And for South Putnam, they got a lot coming back from last year's state championship team.
Well, Rob, let's just call it what it is. This is the first time that you truly get to take a second and reflect on what you were able to do a year ago. It seems like everything happened so fast. You win a state championship, and then you're transitioning right into your winter sports, which a lot of these kids are involved with.
Yeah.
So this being the first time that you actually get to reflect and celebrate, whoa, here comes another season. So the ante is always upped, especially for these Eagles of South Putnam. Going up to 2A, more teams that are going to be in the South, as Coach Sora already talked with you about this week. It's just a challenge that I know they're eager for, but it's not going to get easier than it was 365 days ago from this very day as they kicked off the 2025 season. So I'm excited to see how they attack this North Putnam team, how these two teams clash. This is a matchup that's been going on for the last few years. County rivalry, county matchup. So it's always exciting football when the county can be galvanized like we will see here tonight at Wildman Field.
Uncharted territory. You mentioned they're now in Class 2A, but when you go into a situation like that, at least you have some guys you can rely on from last year. That includes quarterback Drew Klein. Last year threw for over 2,200 yards, 27 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. And how about the running game? It was a big one when these two teams met up last year with Ty Benton. He ran for 300 yards against these Cougars 1 year ago. He is back for his senior season, looking to do some damage once again.
And that's all he's done ever since he has graced this field and graced South Putnam. 13 100-plus rushing yard games last season. That is a force to be reckoned with And oh, by the way, Drew Klein, also the third leading rusher on this same team at just over 500 yards. So a lot of pieces that they have coming back, and obviously the tale of two teams, because North Putnam, they're trying to find some experience. Not very many guys coming back, only 6 that I counted via Max Preps in registering statistics last year.
Yeah.
So they've got a pretty hefty matchup to open up this season. But what better way for Coach Moore than to find his team in front of a formidable foe? And let's see how his team responds.
Yeah, big challenge for Coach Scott Moore and his North Putnam team. Only 38 players on the full roster here in 2026. So you're going to be seeing a lot of guys playing both sides of the ball all night long. And in week 1, you got that sun coming down. You got this turf field here at South Putnam. When you see those guys at the high school level playing both sides of the ball, who knows what could possibly happen when it comes to cramps later on in the second half. So hopefully these guys have been staying hydrated this week.
Absolutely.
Preparing for this week 1 matchup.
And respectively to both teams, you're getting your teams prepared, hydration, conditioning, but nothing compares to the real thing. So all across the state, everyone is eager to get on the field, but I think coaches in particular are excited to see how their teams are going to respond. Now going into an actual game situation and seeing how the war of attrition inside the white lines is going to play out.
So we mentioned North Putnam. Not very many guys coming back from last year. The quarterback tonight will be Owen Thurman, a junior. He did get some playing time a little bit last year when Christian Kramer was injured for a few games. So he does have some sort of experience, but he will have the ball first as South Putnam will get ready to kick off. Thanks for joining us here on the IHSAA Sports Network, brought to you by Endeavor Communications. We're underway in Greencastle, as the kickoff will be picked up from the 10-yard line. That's Noah McConnell breaking a few tackles down the sideline and finally pushed out of bounds right around the 40. Good return there for the Cougars, and they set up shop near midfield.
Standing at only 5'5", Noah McConnell is one of those returners that you talked about. Not many, but he is one of them in the receiving room. Just 44 yards receiving last year and already off to a fast start to kick off 2026.
The ball will be spotted at the 39. That is where the Cougars will start their first drive of 2026. This is a North Putnam team. Last year went 4-6. They lost to these rival Eagles by a score of 53-33. We saw a lot of points between these two teams 1 year ago. Curious to see what we see here tonight in week 1, opening up the 2026 season. First and 10 from the 39, man in motion. They'll hand it off up the middle. That's number 12, Lincoln Young, the senior, 5'8", 175 pounds, getting the start at running back here tonight for North Putnam.
The toughest part, anytime you come into an opener, even if you've seen the team so many times the year before or years prior, you always have to get a sense when you get into the game, what does the personnel actually feel like? How do they play certain blocks? How do they attack me if I'm a defender and I'm looking at the opponent on offense? So many things are going to be felt through as we get this game started, because this isn't an opening game. There's not film from the week before, so these first couple of drives will be interesting.
Gain of 2 on that run. It's 2nd and 8. Ball was fumbled on the snap. There's also a flag down. Our first penalty of the game. And it will go against North Putnam. Illegal shift moves them back 5 yards.
I think it's important to note, if you're watching at home, when you're an undermanned team like it appears that North Putnam is, with the amount of bodies that they have on the sideline, how much do they use that to an advantage, milk the clock, take that play clock all the way down to the last few seconds to play a field position and a possession type of game to keep things from getting out of hand?
Well, they corrected the call. It actually was a penalty against South Putnam. So the referees will move the ball up to the 46-yard line. It's week 1 for the officials as well.
Yes.
Everyone get the kinks out.
A first-time thing for everyone to kick off 2026.
So the penalty was against the Eagles, and now we will have 2nd and about 4 for North Putnam. And the starting quarterback, Owen Thurman. Got a little playing time last year as a sophomore. Went 56 of 302. That's about 57% completion percentage. Threw for 300 yards and 5 touchdowns. And another flag. And it's going against South Putnam again.
And that one I saw with my own eyes, pretty evident. Sideline closest to North Putnam, that that defensive end to that side for South Putnam, clearly in the neutral zone. Easy call for the officials. Usually they get a warning. I'm assuming that a warning was already given, as you can see at the top of your screen, just flat out in the neutral zone to start off that play.
So the 5-yard penalty moves the ball across midfield and a fresh set of downs for the Cougars.
And an experienced guy. That's Damon Cox.
Yeah.
Played linebacker a year ago, defensive end this year. Same with Keenan Mowry Shields, a guy who had over 100 tackles in Damon Cox. So he's got to get his feet underneath him to start this game.
Another flag being thrown on this play.
Should we play Jeopardy and try and hedge our bets to see how many penalties we're going to get pre-snap before we feel like we're starting to play football? Anything you can do, I can do better.
Yeah. Referees might get some motion sickness going back and forth with all these penalties. One against North Putnam, one against South Putnam. We're going back and forth. Ball will be spotted at the 46. So 1st and 15 after the penalty for the Cougars. On that front line, you mentioned, Jared, some big names for the South Putnam D-line. Damon Cox, Keegan Mowry Shields. We'll be calling his name a lot. His name was called a lot in 2025. We'll get to that in just a second. 1st and 15 for the Cougars. Another direct snap, or I should say quick handoff. Lincoln Young got the ball, but got tripped up at the line of scrimmage. That'll bring up 2nd down. Keegan Mowry Shields. If you don't know that name, learn it. He is a 6'3" senior listed at 235. He led all players in all classes in the state of Indiana last year with 251 tackles. And there's one in the backfield right on cue, a big one for the senior.
Rob, there's a reason that a guy like Keenan Mowry Shields is headed to play at the Division I ranks. When you play at this level, if you want to stand out and ascend to those heights playing at the highest level in college, you have to be the best player on the field at all times, and number 11 in blue is exactly that, and he has been for the last few years.
He had 15 tackles in the game against North Putnam 1 year ago. I mentioned 251 tackles last season. That was the most among all players in the state of Indiana. That was 2nd most in the country.
We're talking
Thurman
about a guy
with the
who's
ball.
already eclipsed probably 600 tackles for his career in high school, at the high school ranks. That's flat out getting it done. It does not matter what level you're playing. If you have a nose for the football, it will show, and it's definitely on display for Keenan Mowry Shields.
Definitely one of the leaders on defense for this Eagle team. They get a big stop there, tackling Thurman in the backfield, brings up 4th down. And the Cougars will come out to punt.
And you talk about guys in this division, Class 1 and 2A, playing both sides of the football. That's Keenan Mowry Shields, offensive lineman just a couple of years ago, transitioned to tight end. So this is not just someone focused on defense, but does it on both sides of the football.
Sam went with the punt, and a great one. It rolls all the way to the 10-yard line. And that's where the Eagles will take over for their first offensive possession of 2026. Let's take a look at this offense again. Quarterback Drew Klein, last year as a junior, threw for 58% completion, 2,200 yards, 27 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. He also ran the ball for 529 yards and 11 more scores. But Ty Benton, now a senior running back, had nearly 2,600 rushing yards for the Eagles. penalty wipes away the touchdown. And it'll move him back to the 5-yard line. So what would have been a 90-yard touchdown for Blake Witt, who had 5 touchdowns a year ago for the Eagles. They're going to place the ball at the 8. So it'll be second and 12, or first and 12 after the penalty. Klein takes the snap, handoff. Here comes Ty Benton, and he breaks free. Ty Benton down the sidelines, broken up near midfield. Big tackle there for Noah McConnell to save the score. But that is exactly what we were talking about, Jared. Ty Benton is a beast, and he shows it right there on that play.
Coach Sorrell talked about having an all-junior offensive lineman, and you'll see 158 come up right and through, right in there. Lays the boom on the opposing team's quarterback. Hey, if you're going to play defense too, come get some of this punishment. Ty Benton to get things started.
Ty Benton once again on the carry. This one up the middle. He'll pick up about 5 on the play. Last year, Benton averaged 185 rushing yards per game. That was second most in the entire state of Indiana.
10 yards a carry, which means there's a good chance anytime he gets the football, that's a first down.
Yeah.
Talk about football efficiency. Just give Ty Benton the football.
Makes Coach Sorrell's job pretty easy when you have a player like that. And Klein got the Cougars to jump. A lot of penalties early on here in the first quarter. Fresh set of downs for the Eagles. Ball at the 32-yard line. Klein once again in the shotgun. Hands it off. Here's Benton. And a nice tackle from behind there by Tristan Claycomb, the 5'10 sophomore.
We asked Coach Sorrell, at what point from 2025 did you transition to your focus and all of your resources and gaze into this next season? And he said the day one of the summer. What better way than at the start of the summer, hey, let's put everything behind us and let's focus on the task at hand. And when you have Ty Benton on your side, there's always a chance that he can do something like that.
He's in for the score. Made a couple guys miss, and Ty Benton picking up where he left off in 2025. And the Eagles are on the board first.
When you travel down to South Putnam here in Greencastle, you get the sense that Ty Benton is an old school type of running back, that there's nothing flashy about it. I'm going to get downhill. I'm going to stick my foot in the ground just like that, and I'm going to continue to go north and south for another touchdown in what is already an illustrious career for him.
He had 27 rushing touchdowns a year ago. There's number 1 in 2026. Extra point is good, and South Putnam leads it 7-0 with 6:03 to play here in the first quarter. This game is proudly sponsored by Endeavor Communications. Endeavor Communications does not just provide ordinary old internet service. Their blazing fast, high-speed, fiber-based service is a game changer. Don't settle for less. Switch to Endeavor for the winning play in connectivity. Visit WeEndeavor.com or call them at 1-800-922-6677. Endeavor Internet, your fiber connection, your victory. So Ty Benton gets South Putnam on the board first. What we thought was a 90-yard touchdown got wiped away from the penalty. And he said, all right, I'll settle for a little less yardage, but hey, I'll still find the end zone. And a good start for the Eagles.
But for this coaching staff of the Eagles, a great play to potentially come back to. You find Blake Witt out in space. That obviously worked well for you. If you can just shore some things up technically inside, get those blockers' hands inside, that's probably a play we may see later on. If not today, then maybe later this season.
I want to go back, Jared, to what you were mentioning with Coach Sorrell and how we asked him earlier this week of when did you put away 2025 in the state championship and prepare for 2026, and how he said day one of summer. I loved his quote that said, "We're not content with last year," which is saying something considering you raised a state championship trophy. If you're not content with that, what a mindset you have going into 2026. And you got to have that strong mindset because now here you are in Class 2A in 2026.
Well, the question that begs to be answered all the time, what have you done for me lately? And since Coach Sorrell has taken over at the controls, 5-6 his first year in 2019. Every year since then, 7+ wins. So they were already priming, not just for a state championship, but for being a powerhouse in whatever class that they were in. And so I think you're just hearing what exudes around here as the standard for these South Putnam Eagles being under Coach Sorrell.
Great leadership at the helm, great leadership on the field with his upperclassmen. And on the flip side for North Putnam, all right, hopefully you got the early season jitters out, had some penalties. Let's see if they can get into a rhythm here on this second possession. They'll start from their own 10-yard line. Fumble in the backfield, and it looks like the Eagles recovered it. And they did. It's Damon Cox, the senior, recovering the fumble. Just a bad handoff.
And to Owen Thurman's credit, just trying to do an outstanding job selling the fake and just mishandles the football when he's carrying out that fake and blesses the Eagles with advantageous field position.
And so, with the recovery inside the 5-yard line, 1st and goal for the Eagles. They'll hand it off to Benson, and he is bouncing in for another score. Less than 20 seconds after his first touchdown, he finds the end zone for a second time.
Rob, I've seen Ty Benton play basketball, so the shifty move right there doesn't surprise me. He's a pesky defender on the hardwood and runs hard on the gridiron. No secret to what South Putnam is trying to do. Put the ball into 23's hands and good things will happen.
And it's a big lead early on for the Eagles. Extra point is up, and it is good as Aiden Beasley gets it through. 14-0 South Putnam. And a good start for Coach Sorrell and his Eagles here on their home field, opening up the 2026 season. And we mentioned how got to be in a different mindset to start this year because you move up a class after winning the state championship in 1A last year. Now you're in Class 2A in Sectional 38. And you look at some of the other teams that are in that sectional. I know it's week 1. You don't really want to think about the postseason, but later on down the road when we get to week 10, you're looking at a very tough Sectional 38 because not only do you have the 1A state champion, you also have last year's 3A state champion, Cascade, moves down a class. Rare when you have 2 state champions from a year ago now in the same sectional this year.
Absolutely. You see why Coach Sorrell was tight-lipped about what they could do this year. He understands what's on the horizon, but truthfully, when you have a team of returners like they have, you feel pretty good about anybody that you're going to play. So it's all psychological. If you can keep your team focused on the task at hand, not looking ahead, not thinking back to what you've already done, you always continue to have progress toward the ultimate goal and give yourself a chance to win when it's time to against some of those formidable foes.
And it's important to get off to a strong start. That's exactly what South Putnam has done here in the first quarter, already up 14-0. As it's week one across the entire state of Indiana. Some really good games across the Hoosier State here tonight. Looking at South Putnam, once you get through tonight, you head right down the road at Greencastle to take on the Cubs next Friday. As the kickoff will be recovered from inside the 10, and again, not much going for the Cougars. As Noah McConnell on the return, but was quickly met up by a flock of Eagles.
That's now 2 kickoffs. South Putnam has pinned it deep in North Putnam's territory without much returner taking up that space. Field position game. So far, I would give the edge to South Putnam, just being able to put the ball where there are no Cougars. And so another drive in back-to-back possessions for North Putnam, having to start in the shadow of their own end zone.
This one will start at the 9-yard line after the fumble last possession, which quickly led to another score for the Eagles. So here are the Cougars, 1st and 10 from the 9. They'll hand it off, and another quick tackle. Maury Shields was in there. Thomas also leading the tackle for the Eagles. At the line of scrimmage, 2nd and 10.
Maury Shields, Wyatt Thomas, and Lucas Hall on that tackle.
A lot to handle up front for this North Putnam offensive line. When you're seeing Damon Cox, when you're seeing Keenan Maury Shields, when you're seeing a lot of these big boys that they have up front, Lucas Hall being another one of those defensive linemen. Dane Miller is up front as well as a senior. It's a lot of beef to try and move around and make some lanes for your run game.
Quarterback keeper, and it's going nowhere. Thurman brought down in the backfield, and it will quickly bring up 3rd down for the Cougars.
Truthfully, Rob, this North Putnam team back in 2024, 7 wins for Coach Scott Moore. But the reason that there was 7 wins, they had receivers going over 500 yards. That was Griffin Starr, and that was Caden Halderman. No longer with a passing attack that you can truly pinpoint. Owen Thurman registered statistics in passing, receiving, and rushing and tackling. So can he be that guy that pushes the ball downfield? And so far, I would say that's not the case. That's not something that is a strength. So you have to do it on the ground. And when you start so far back, it makes things even tougher.
Looking to throw, and it's picked off. It's Kaysen Ames with the interception.
80 tackles on defense last year for Kaysen Ames. He was highlighted by Coach Sorrell and what he was able to increase as far as his weightlifting strength in the weight room. He shows some of that athleticism that has translated from that weightlifting increase. What a nice job. Another turnover created by this defense puts the offense in great field position.
2nd turnover already for the Cougars. And the Eagles will start from the 10. They're looking for the end zone. Did he get his foot down? No, he's ruled out. Blake Will did all he could. That was a perfectly placed ball by Drew Klein.
Just some mesh routes at the top of these receivers' routes, and you see Drew Klein puts the ball up there for Blake Witt to try and go get. Placement was outstanding, but just couldn't get his feet down. That is Blake Witt. But 2 times now, Blake has created some offensive explosion, but they haven't really materialized into anything.
2nd down, good attempt there, but this one will be completed to the right side. It's Branson Enzer with the catch, his first one of the night.
It's funny, we can start talking about receiving options for South Putnam, and their #1 receiver from last year just now touched the football.
Yeah.
Almost 700 yards a year ago, what Branson Enzer was able to do. So there's threats all over this football field for the Eagles.
Yeah, you mentioned it, Jared, about how this offense a year ago was clicking on all cylinders, and they bring back just about everybody. And how about this run? Benton powering his way just shy of the goal line, flexing his muscles. He was taking tacklers with him, finally brought down right around the 2.
It's pretty simple when you get down to this part of the field. Get those guys pulling around, drive some guys into the ground, and watch Ty Benton pull defenders with him and is able to almost stay on his feet and get into the end zone again.
Shout out to the junior Lucas Harris, number 59, had a great block on the right side there that helped that run. 4th down, they're going for it, and walking in for the score, his 3rd one already, Ty Benton. Number 3 for number 23.
As you said, you get down to this part of the field, you get a great push from your offensive line and probably the easiest touchdown thus far for Ty Benton.
He had 27 touchdowns all of last year, 3 here tonight in the first quarter against the Cougars. Extra point is good for Aiden Beasley, and it's 21-0 with 2:45 to play here in the first. All South Putnam, and the quest to defend a state championship off to a very impressive start here in 2026.
You see exactly why they're just going to be a tough out for anybody that's on their schedule this year. They have firepower everywhere, totally haven't seen exactly what they can completely do, but when you don't have to, you feel pretty good, because when you can roll out there with your number 1 option and hurt a team and be up 3 scores, you feel good about keeping some things close to the cuff, so when the right time presents itself to bring it out, you are even that much more lethal and dangerous to your opponents.
You mentioned the schedule for the Eagles again after tonight. Week 2, they'll travel just up the road to Greencastle. Back-to-back home games in week 3 and 4 against Edgewood and Vincennes Lincoln. That Edgewood game, Jared, 1 year ago, that's probably the one circled on the schedule for the Eagles. They lost to Edgewood in double overtime a year ago. One of their 2 losses all season in 2025.
Talk about losing in double overtime just by 1 point, still go on to win the state championship. You're looking to right that wrong from a year ago. So, as you said, I have full confidence that game will be circled on that calendar.
Another kickoff. This one will be returned, and a decent return for McConnell this time as he gets it near the 20-yard line. And a little better field position to start this drive for North Putnam. Punt, fumble, interception on their first 3 drives of this game. And go back to that word. I feel like we might be using that a lot for the Cougars tonight, just trying to get into some sort of rhythm.
That's it. Just trying to see something go your way to start this game. So far in this first quarter, that has not been the case, but there's always the next drive, so here we go.
A little bit of more breathing room starting from the 20, and a quick handoff up the middle. Lincoln Young with the rush. Gets to about the 25-yard line, so a gain of about 3 or 4 on the play. Closing in on the final 2 minutes of this opening quarter. 21-0 South Putnam. Thank you for joining us here on the ISC Sports Network. Rob Connick, Jared Thomas, producer Charlie Hammock, and the rest of our ISC crew on a 82-degree Friday night. And a fumble. Ball is loose in the backfield again, and the Eagles are going to recover it again. Blake Witt getting his hands on it.
How many times have we seen a play like that go in Blake Witt's favor? besides the fact that the two prior, the long touchdown gets called back, the acrobatic catch in the back of the end zone, he couldn't get his feet down, and here he's almost able to do it again, has his hands on the football, trying to pick it up and return it, but how athletic do you have to be to then still scurry toward the football and be the one to ultimately recover it? So good things coming Blake Witt's way based on how things have unraveled so far.
For a third time already, they will start from inside the 10, and it takes just one play. This time scoring, it's Briar Cook, the 5'11 senior, getting his first score of the season.
We keep referring and making mention of all the different weapons that they have. Here is another one. Briar Cook, a year ago, almost 110 carries, 809 yards, and numerous touchdowns for what is now the senior. 13 rushing touchdowns a year ago, already has himself one in this contest. So you have an 800-plus rusher, a 2,500-plus rusher, a 500-plus rusher, and your quarterback in Drew Klein. I mean, how much more rushing do you need coming out of the backfield?
Extra point up and good once again for Aiden Beasley, and it's now 28-0. All Eagles capitalizing on the turnovers from North Putnam. 2 fumbles and an interception already for this South Putnam defense. Defense leads to offense. How often do you hear that? And that is a prime example set here in the first quarter by South Putnam.
Just a reminder for those watching, as soon as that lead gets to 35 points, it does invoke that running clock. So if you want to know how a team like South Putnam can look so much different than their opponents, is because they get in games, they blow teams out, and young guys get reps. And when it's those young guys' turn to play, they're already primed and ready because they've done it so many times before. So it's a formula that works. And obviously, Coach Chuck Sorrell has this program going in the right direction.
That is such a great point, Jared. That some of these underclassmen get reps late in games because of the score. And then when it's their turn as upperclassmen, they look impressive early on.
Blake Witt is one of those guys. I saw him as a sophomore just be a youngster in this program. And because he got so much action as a sophomore and was groomed properly, there's no question that he's going to be ready for a moment like this, which is so paramount for your football team when you get deep into the playoffs and you're making a push for what could be a repeat of becoming a state champion. You need guys like Blake Witt, but ultimately they were developed in the same program because of the success of guys before him.
Ashton Hamilton on the kick return. A flag was thrown at the end of the play. It's going against the Eagles with a face mask on that tackle. Let's see if we can check it out on the replay. Yeah, a little aggressive. So tack on 15 more yards, and North Putnam will have the best field position to start a drive all night.
It's going to be first and 10 for the Cougars from the 36.
So it'll be first and 10 for the Cougars starting at the 37-yard line after that penalty at the end of the kickoff return. And for Owen Thurman and his offense, just trying to take care of the ball. Thurman will keep it himself, trying to find a block, dives towards the sideline. Pretty good gain there for the junior quarterback.
Breaks a couple of tackles.
Last year as a sophomore, he did have 108 rushing yards, a couple of rushing touchdowns to his name. And that's important when we talked about it in the pregame show, Jared, about how this North Putnam team, not a lot of guys returning from last year.
Graduated 15 seniors, most of which were key contributors. So when you have those elder statesmen move on to bigger and better things, one of them being Christian Kramer, who's now at Butler University, that's just going to leave an empty void in your program.
Up the middle. Lincoln Young, the ball carrier. There is a flag on the play.
The ball carrier tackled by the shoestrings with Mallory Shields.
And it's going to go against the Cougars as they jumped a little early before the snap of that ball. Under a minute to go here in the first quarter. South Putnam in front, 28-0. Capitalizing on 3 turnovers already by this North Putnam Cougar offense. A lot of week 1 struggles here for the Cougars. Penalties, turnovers. Trying to get through that as we creep in on the final minute of the first quarter. So after the false start penalty, it'll now be second and a long 8, short 9. Thurman fakes the handoff, keeps it himself, and he's going to be tripped up the backfield. It's Damon Cox once again on the tackle.
Thurman the ball here, tackled by Damon Cox.
25 tackles for loss a season ago, and you can see exactly why. When you have the ability to run plays down, just like he's able to do with guys like Owen Thurman, you are a force on that defensive front.
Loss of 2 on the play makes it 3rd and long for the Cougars from the 37-yard line. And with the final 10 seconds, play clock at 3, at 2, they'll snap it. Thurman rolling out to his right, gets hit as he's thrown. It'll be incomplete, and it stops the clock with 1.8 seconds.
Thurman's pass is incomplete. Going to bring up 4th down.
Fourth down from the 37. And what will be our final play of the first quarter. Looks like the Cougars will go for it. At this point, why not?
And truthfully, the toughest thing to do with a team when the game gets away from you so quickly is keeping them motivated to continue to play. But you have to preach that there are lessons to be learned even in the most adverse moments.
Well, they did punt it. The quarterback, Thurman, boots it away. And it would be down inside the 30 as our first quarter comes to a close. All Eagles, 28-0, capitalizing on the 3 Cougar turnovers. We'll take a commercial break. We'll be back in just a moment. You're watching high school football on the ISC Sports Network.
It's time to supercharge your internet with ridiculous speeds up to 1 gig from Endeavor. Get ready for high gear downloads that power buffer-free streaming, gaming, sharing, and surfing. And fire up all your devices at once with reliable speeds amplified by the latest Wi-Fi equipment. Get on the fast track to a powerful online experience. Contact Endeavor and supercharge your internet today.
Again?
Tortured by technology? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with Speed Geeks. Our Speed Geeks are expert technicians ready to rescue you from technology troubles. Our experts are here to get and keep your Wi-Fi running properly. We'll even make sure all of your devices stay connected. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications. Technology for real people.
First time in 20 years, South Putnam has had a marching band for their football games. Great to see the Soaring Eagles back here at home games in Greencastle. And they are loving what their football team has done in the first 12 minutes. 28-0 our score. All Eagles. And they start this second quarter with their first play on offense. Rolling out to the left. Klein looking to throw. He's got a man, and it is Styles Stouch going all the way for another touchdown.
Rob, I'll be honest. I don't try to go this route often, but this is just a beautiful route combination, a flood concept where we're flooding the sideline, matching the quarterback rolling out to his left, and the DBs on the back end for North Putnam got nosy. Styles did not, and guess what? He goes in the end zone with very much so a lot of style, with the white undershirt hanging out from underneath on the jersey. But just an outstanding job of spacing and routes by those receivers, trips receivers out to the left. That's what you like to see if you're the offensive coordinator for South Putnam.
1 year ago in the victory 53-33 for South Putnam, Drew Klein only threw the ball 9 times, threw for 200 yards and 3 touchdowns. He has only thrown the ball a handful of times here. His first passing touchdown of 2026, and it goes to Styles Stouch. A 70-yard bomb, and it's all Eagles. On a night where before the game they revealed the state championship banner outside the stadium. Also a shout out to the 1986 champion team, 40 years ago. Football program here at South Putnam raised a trophy. Special time here at South Putnam High School.
Which, if you're wondering, that the significance and the importance of that 1986 state championship team, I would say just look at the name of the field. Mark Wildman, responsible for that state championship team, who was actually an heir of Bob Gaddis, who was the longtime Columbus East coach. Gaddis is such a key pioneer in South Putnam, a school that opened in 1969. And it was Gaddis's efforts in the 80s that ultimately got South Putnam pointed in the right direction. So although, yes, it's Mark Wildman Field, and Mark Wildman was responsible for 2 state championships in his tenure as head coach here, you have to remember the backs that you stand on, and Bob Gaddis is one of those people. So I'm sure everyone that has witnessed the history here in Putnam County with South Putnam have just huge smiles on their face with another state championship being brought here to South Putnam.
35-0 as the kick will be returned, and he just stepped out. That was Ashton Hamilton. He had more room down the sidelines but could not walk the tightrope on the right side of the field. And the Cougars will start right around the 20-yard line. 2 punts, 2 fumbles, and an interception in their first 5 offensive possessions. And the Cougars looking to just put something together here on this drive.
Truthfully, they just have to do something positive that when the game is over, they can pinpoint and say, let's build off of that. And so hopefully they can start to generate some offensive juice and build on it as this game goes on and as the season goes on. But it's hard to win and create positivity when you're constantly gifting the football back to the other team.
A little positive run there for Hamilton. Able to pick up about 5 on the play. Down for the Cougars, and Coach Moore will a timeout. 35-0 our score, early stages of the second quarter. This game is proudly sponsored by Endeavor Communications. They don't just provide ordinary old internet service. Their blazing fast, high-speed, fiber-based service is a game changer. Don't settle for less. Switch to Endeavor for the winning play in connectivity. Visit weendeavor.com. or call them at 1-800-922-6677. Middle schoolers and high schoolers love that number. Endeavor Internet, your fiber connection, your victory. North Putnam in the Monon Conference. Second year of existence for that. A lot of those teams left the Sagamore to join the newly created Monon Athletic Conference a year ago. North Putnam, or I should say South Putnam on the other hand, still in the Western Indiana Conference. And their first conference game, again, will be against Edgewood in a couple of weeks, one of the teams that they lost to a year ago. Vincent Lincoln also part of that conference. Sullivan, West Vigo, Northview, Owen Valley, Cloverdale. That's South Putnam's schedule here in 2026. And then when we get to the playoffs, again, they're up in Class 2A this year in Sectional 38. Both these teams part of Sectional 38. On third down, another tackle in the backfield. Another big stop for this Eagle D.
Coach Chuck Sorrell took this job. He talked about wanting to deliver county championships. We're talking about North Putnam, Greencastle, Cloverdale. He's done that. He talked about conference championships. He's done that. And then the last one, which everybody wants here in the state of Indiana, that's state championships. So when you're able to have that goal and then deliver on it, it invokes some excitement in the community. And I think what you're seeing on display tonight is the excitement in this South Putnam community because they've already delivered on his promise. So now they're wanting to sit on the edge of their seat and see what else can we do.
Yeah. You mentioned that county championship. Teams here in Putnam County play for that county bucket. It's a big one, an important one. And this rivalry between North Putnam and South Putnam has been a big one all these years. Jared, when you look at the last 10 years, though, it's closer than some people realize. Yes, North Putnam won it, or I should say South Putnam won it last year. North Putnam won it in 2024. The last 10 years, last 10 matchups, it's North Putnam that actually has the advantage 5-4. They did not play each other in 2021 during the pandemic. But North Putnam actually has the advantage over the last 10 meetings.
And if we were to roll out a graphic of Coach Scott Moore's record in his time as head coach in season number 5, to start this game, 10 or 18-19 overall record, but 10 losses have come to South Putnam, to Western Boone, and to Cascade. So there's an argument that the teams he's losing to are teams that have had a lot of success winning state championships. So that is the barometer of success. How do you get over that? That question still begs to be answered.
Drew Klein with the punt return across the 45-yard line. And he'll stay on the field for another offensive possession for the South Putnam Eagles. 5 possessions, 5 touchdowns so far for South Putnam. Ty Benton already with 3 rushing touchdowns. Cook with another one. And then on the last possession, Klein launching it to Stouch for a big touchdown grab. They'll start this drive from the 44-yard line. And here comes Benton. Stays in bounds and finally out right around the 15. Another big run for the senior Ty Benton.
I feel everyone in the stands, when Ty Benton gets the ball, they just get ready to start clapping because something good is going to happen, either a really big gain or a touchdown, and either one is good in their books.
Fresh set of downs for South Putnam. Ty Benton. And now it's Brendan Calvert, the backup quarterback. He completes it to the left side. Styles Stouch gets it to about the 3 or 4 yard line. So it's Brendan Calvert, the backup quarterback junior.
But
Now
truthfully, Rob, how many programs can say that in the opener of the season, their backup quarterback can get in the middle of, not even the middle of the second quarter, and still seem like this offense is operating on all cylinders?
Looking to the right, and he's got a man. Touchdown! Branson Enzer with his first touchdown of the year.
Not only does he look like he is the starter, but watch him look one way, look another way, and then say, okay, let me go to the wide side of the field and continue to throw the football in a way that Branson can just catch it and then just walk into the end zone. I mean, what South Putnam is able to do, I mean, it has to be documented somewhere. This is impressive stuff.
4 different Eagles have already scored a touchdown here tonight, and it's not even halftime. We still got 9 minutes to go here in this second quarter as Beasley's on for the PAT. And his 6th one is good. 42-0 South Putnam with a commanding lead on their rivals here in week 1 of the Indiana high school football season. A lot to cheer about if you are a South Putnam fan. And Jared, we go back to what we mentioned in the pregame show. Honestly, it's the tale of 2 stories here with these 2 teams. You got South Putnam, who brought back a lot of talent from that state championship team 1 year ago. North Putnam, not a lot of guys returning from that team in 2025. 2 different starts here to the start of 2026.
One team, it seems like they can get anything to go their way. They can't do anything right. And the other team seems like they can do no wrong. Even when they open up the game with a potential 90-yard receiving touchdown, they get a penalty, they go backwards, and they still score. So not only are they able to score from different parts on the field, but they're able to keep the same mentality that it takes to stay on the attack, even if they run into some adversity.
Again, that running clock goes into effect in the second half. Here we are at 42-0, still 9 minutes to go in the second quarter. And that one shanked out of bounds. Might be the first mistake of the night from the Eagles. And they had a couple of penalties. Getting ahead of myself. They had a couple of penalties in the first couple minutes of the first quarter, but since then it's been smooth sailing.
That first drive was a game of cat and mouse to see who was going to jump off sides or who was going to false start first. But outside of that, as you said, I would agree. Just the first probably catastrophic, probably not even the best word to use, mistake thus far, giving them a little bit more field position than they've been accustomed to thus far when it comes to starting position. But once again, no one's perfect. The search of perfection is always on. So just another layer that they can add into the what we didn't do so well once they wrap this game up here tonight and look ahead to what's awaiting for them in week 2.
And knowing Coach Sorrell, when they go back and watch the tape, that might be the first thing that he mentions. Not all the good things. He might mention, hey, we had penalties early on, kickoff out of bounds. Let's focus on that. Let's fix that as we get ready for week 2.
And then what are the categories of those mistakes? Jumping off sides and false starting, that's a lack of focus. Those are things that get you beat later on in the season when you need everyone to be keyed and locked into their responsibility. There's certain things that just shouldn't be on the plate, and jumping off sides is one of those. So talk about a messaging of focus for his team could possibly be on the docket come next week.
Bad snap in the backfield. And down goes Thurman. Dane Miller.
And the reality is although a lot has returned for the Eagles, they are missing a key piece. His name is Khalil Jefferson. He played basketball and football, 6'4", 6'5", played outside linebacker, defensive end, in this scheme, played receiver, already mentioned in what he was able to do with receiving yards last year, just under 600 yards receiving, but 33% of their sack production with 32 as a team last year. He had 10.5 of those. He's now at Indiana State playing defensive end. So when you don't have that body presence, that production in your lineup, other guys have to fill in. So you could talk about being able to pressure the quarterback as the season goes on, not having Khalil Jefferson, but when you have guys like Damon Cox and the Millers of the world and the Maury Shields of the world, you like to think they're okay.
Another good stop there for the defense. The completion there was to Sam Went. 3rd and long for the Cougars. Play clock at 6, at 5. Cougars got to go. Thurman snaps it with 1. Looking to throw downfield. It is complete. Once again, Sam Went. Ball popped.
Gain of 7 is going to be 2nd and 3, Eagles.
Got a great view with our cameras in the stands, right on that 20-yard line. High snap, ball's loose. Calvert able to pounce on it. There was a flag as well.
That center quarterback communication is so key. All you saw from quarterback Brendan Calvert was just tell center, hey, snap was high right. Something that they haven't probably done a lot of, which is have Calvert behind big offensive lineman Trick Trammell. So there is just some inconsistencies in targeting with where you want that snap to go with a new quarterback back there. All first world problems to have when you're South Putnam, but nonetheless something that you want to put down to work on as you go back to practice.
Ball will be placed at the 30, so it was a holding penalty called against the Eagles.
Be repeated the down. Should be repeated the down. 10-yard penalty.
And another high snap. Calvert able to cling on to it. Now he's going to launch downfield. Incomplete. He was looking for Branson Enzer. So back-to-back snaps going high over the head of Calvert. Good recovery there, though. Looked like he got a rebound in a basketball game and then launched downfield. Enzer couldn't get there in time.
And if the snaps continue to go high, I would just love to see Calvert just step up a half a yard to a yard just to catch the ball sooner to prevent that ball from sailing over his head.
They were able to get the Cougars to jump off sides. Good hard count there. And another penalty against North Putnam. That'll help out the Eagles slightly, move it back up 5 yards. Fourth and 9. Calvert over the head of Cook. And it will be the first time all night that a offensive drive for the Eagles does not result in a touchdown.
So they're human.
They are.
We've seen nothing but efficiency thus far from the Eagles on offense. So the law of averages does say at some point in time they were going to slow down, but at one point it looked like they were on track to score 100 with the way that they were just effortlessly going up and down the field. But a great job by this North Putnam defense, forcing a stop, maybe create some momentum for their sideline.
6:15 to play here in the first half. If you're just joining us, South Putnam took advantage of 3 early turnovers by North Putnam quickly scored back-to-back in the first quarter. It was 28-0 after the first 12 minutes of play. They've scored twice on a couple of passing touchdowns, one from Klein, one from Calvert. And now a nice positive play here for North Putnam as Ashton Hamilton gets a gain of about 8.
Tackled by Styles Stout. It's going to be 2nd and 2. Cougars.
As already stated, this is when you try to build off of some good that you've created. Got to stop. Then you go play action pass, roll out, getting it to a playmaker in space. Let's see what they do here on 2nd down.
Thurman will hand it off. It's McConnell, and he's immediately met up.
McConnell, the ball carrier.
Looked like Lucas Hall was in there on the tackle,
Loss of 1 is going to be 3rd down.
as was Kaysen Ames. 3rd down for the Cougars. They're just trying to move the chains. That'd be a big goal for this North Putnam offense. Trying to find some sort of momentum here in the second quarter. Play clock at 5. As Thurman under center, and Coach Moore will take a timeout.
Timeout. North Putnam.
Endeavor Communications proudly sponsoring our game here tonight on the IHSAA Sports Network. They don't just provide ordinary old internet service. Their blazing fast, high-speed, fiber-based service is a game changer. So don't settle for less. Switch to Endeavor for the winning play in connectivity. Visit them online, weendeavor.com, or call them at 1-800-922-6677. Endeavor Internet, your fiber connection, your victory. A beautiful Friday night here in Western Indiana. Still plenty of sunlight to go. Temperatures, we started this game in the lower 80s, getting to the 70s once that sun goes down. And compared to the weather that we've had all across the state of Indiana the last couple of weeks, we will take this every single time.
Beat me to the punch. It's the most bipolar weather experience that you could have. I feel like in the country, 1 minute doesn't know what it wants to do, blistering temperatures, almost 100, then it's rain nonstop. So to all the victims that have seen some terrible things happen in central Indianapolis due to flooding, hearts go out to you. Prayers and nothing but support and love to those that have experienced some tragedies, because that weather has definitely did an unexpected turn on a lot of people's homes. So that is a real thing, but this weather, man, it does a doozy on you here in the Midwest. But as you said, we will take the sunshine every day of the week.
Yeah. You got to think about the athletic directors that had to deal with the flooding, the rainouts, for all those sports that started a couple of weeks ago, all the outdoor sports, cross country, golf, tennis, soccer, a lot of outdoor fall sports. And across central Indiana, a lot of games were postponed or canceled because of all the rain we had a couple of weeks ago. But it is a gorgeous Friday night for week 1 of the high school football season all across the state of Indiana. So wherever you're tuning in from, thanks for making us a part of your Friday night activities here on the IHSAA Sports Network. North Putnam has some momentum here after a first down. It's now 2nd and 2. Another run there for Lincoln Young, and another first down for the Cougars. First time tonight they have gone back-to-back to move the chains.
So some perimeter hitting runs for this North Putnam offense. They've attacked the edges thus far, had some misdirection on the run before. So far, you feel a little momentum going in their way. Down 42, but starting to do some really good things, meshing both the defensive and the offensive worlds together. Something, as I've already stated many times before, something they can build off of. So a great nod in the direction of Coach Scott Moore and what his group is doing thus far.
Actually keeping it himself. Thurman faked me out, kept it. Flag comes flying in at the end of the play.
Thurman on the quarterback keeper.
going to be a holding penalty against the Cougars.
Holding is a call against the Cougars. Want to bring it back 5 yards with a repeat of the down.
Does that count as a broadcaster's jinx? We were
Could
just
be.
talking about how the momentum and then all of a sudden the penalty.
Could be. Did I get out in enough time?
I
don't know
We
if that
apologize to the
factors
Cougar
into
fans that are tuning in.
What quantifies as the broadcaster jinx?
It'll be 1st and 20 after the holding penalty. Just over 3 minutes to go here in the first half. Owen Thurman, Ashton Hamilton, Lincoln Young, Noah McConnell. This North Putnam offense trying to get something going here and end the first half on a high note. Another handoff up the middle.
Although Brendan Calvert is getting reps on offense as the quarterback for this offensive operation right now, Drew Klein is still getting reps. He does play defense just like a lot of these guys do that we've already mentioned their name. Plays on the back end as the boundary safety, a guy that led the team in interceptions a year ago with 4, had 7 pass deflections. So if you want to trust your offense and your defense, just put the guy with the eyes of the offense in the backfield. Something that he's used to reading, and now he's that reader.
Thurman to throw, and it's over the head of Sam Went. Another flag came flying in.
Pass was intended for Sam Went. Penalty marker on the play.
Sam Went, the 6'3" junior. Plays both sides of the ball, also at linebacker.
Yes, I do.
Had 100+ receiving yards a year ago in Sam Went. So we see a roughing the passer. Saw Keenan Mowry Shields peeling himself off of the quarterback last. So I believe that is who that personal foul penalty is on. But Sam Went, one of those highlighted players from last year to this year that's going to have to play a key part if this team is going to have any level of success. Big kid as well. Standing out there at 6'3", so a big target to throw the football to. Obviously covers a large range of the field, playing linebacker as well, so good-looking prospect for North Putnam.
After the penalty, ball spotted now at the 43-yard line. Fresh set of downs for the Cougars with 2:21 to play until halftime. Fake the handoff, looking to throw, and just out of the reach of the hands of Noah McConnell. And McConnell comes up limping.
Going to make it second down for the Cougars.
Stretched out to try to get that throw. And the athletic training staff will attend to him over on the sidelines.
As you mentioned at the start of the broadcast, what is the condition level going to be like? What is the propensity to cramp up going to be like for some of these guys? So when you do play both sides of the football, as another fumble hits the ground, and South Putnam believes that they recovered it. The reality is when you exert so much energy playing defense and offense, the body is going to break down at some point in time. So hopefully that's all it is for Noah McConnell.
Something we have been seeing all night long with North Putnam. They're just struggling to hand the ball off.
I think that was Lucas Hall, 58.
So turnover on downs. And a carry up the middle. That was Cason Ames, the junior, with the carry, barreling his way to about the 47-yard line. Second and short. And South Putnam, they're acting like they're trying to score before the end of this first half. Under 2 minutes to play. Calvert looking to throw, and he finds a man at the 35-yard line. It's caught by Brody Burge, the senior.
Brody Burge on the reception. And that's the South Putt.
Led the team last year in pass deflections with 12. I was just getting ready to say 9, but that's just his jersey number. That's a nice pitch and catch between Calvert and Burge, introducing himself into the offensive flow in this first half for the Eagles.
Ames with another carry as the clock continues to run at 1:14 and counting. Hurry up offense for a lot of the backups now. Ames at running back. Calvert, his third possession at quarterback. With a minute to go, looking to throw across the middle, and it's picked off. Lincoln Young, the senior, and the first turnover of the night for South Putnam.
Lincoln Young on the interception for the Cougars, but we got a penalty marker on the play.
The only thing with that throw by Brendan Calvert, is he looked at it the whole time, looking Blake Witt's way. Nice job by Lincoln Young, just undercutting, finding the eyes of the quarterback, following it, and was gifted an interception. Nice play by him.
We were talking about North Putnam just trying to find some sort of positivity, some sort of momentum. That right there is exactly what they needed.
They've gotten 2 stops. They've stopped them twice. Felt like they were generating some momentum after that first stop and driving offensively, stalled out, but all you're doing is proving it to yourself that you can create some momentum for your sideline. Now just have to capitalize on it.
Quick handoff and a quick tackle in the backfield. Been a while since we've said this name. It's Keenan Mowry Shields with his 5th tackle of the night. Clock continues to run now at 38 seconds. Second down. Throw, and this one is picked off. Blake Witt, he's back for a pick 6. Blake Witt finds the end zone.
He's simply just lightning in a bottle. He's always where he's supposed to be, and if he gets the football in his hands, he can really make some special things happen. That was just a delayed RPO screen. Quarterback kept it in Owen Thurman and still was trying to find his receiver out on the perimeter, but the only problem is that it was blanketed coverage by Blake Witt, stepped right in front of it and was able to rally to the end zone.
Still Beasley? Yes.
Beasley extra point, up and good. They scored 6 touchdowns on offense and now 1 on defense. South Putnam and Blake Witt with the pick 6 to make it 49-0 in the closing seconds of the first half.
You see it right here. That was receiver for North Putnam, and Dak Starr trying to go and pitch a block on Blake Witt. Blake Witt defeated the block attempt, stepped in front of the football. And once again, something was brewing, something special was brewing because of what Blake Witt has been able to generate thus far. And he was finally able to capitalize and make one go his way.
He had 3 interceptions last year. His first one of 2026 takes it the other way for the score. With 26 seconds remaining in the second quarter, South Putnam with 7 touchdowns here tonight.
Here are 20 Eagles.
As the sun starts to set here in Greencastle, temperatures starting to drop. on week 1 of the high school football season. And South Putnam picking up where they left off a year ago, ended with a state championship in Class 1A. They went 13-2. They went 7-0 here at home, and they are in prime position to start this year 1-0 on their home turf.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly either.
Hamilton on the return.
Tristan Claycomb comes up hobbling.
Hamilton
He'll try to get to the sidelines.
The Cougars will have it at their 20-yard line, first and 10.
I'm trying to think of when you started after the
Jared, that is not what you want to see if you were Coach Moore and the North Putnam fans. Right before halftime, a couple of players hobbling to the sidelines. A lot of these guys, we mentioned it earlier in the broadcast, we have these smaller schools, both guys playing both sides of the ball. As the Cougars will just take a knee and head into the locker room. Your halftime score here in Greencastle, all Eagles. South Putnam in complete control of their rivals from North Putnam, 49-0, your score at the break. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll bring you some halftime highlights. You're watching high school football on the ISC Sports Network.
Irritated by your internet provider? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with eForce high-speed internet. Download speed? No problem. Download an HD movie in seconds with our remarkable gigabit speed. Endeavor not only provides the latest fiber optic technology, we're also here to help you use it. We also provide television, wireless, security, and telephone services with outstanding local support. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications. Technology for real people.
Food, shelter, fast Wi-Fi. It's all we really need. Good thing Endeavor has the fast, reliable internet it takes to power all the Wi-Fi hungry gadgets in your home. All at once. With speeds up to 10 gig, get smooth HD streaming video, gaming, music, and surfing, all with no waiting, no buffering, no kidding. Call or click weendeavor.com and upgrade to Indiana's fastest internet today.
It's time to supercharge your internet with ridiculous speeds up to 1 gig from Endeavor. Get ready for high gear downloads that power buffer-free streaming, gaming, sharing, and surfing. And fire up all your devices at once with reliable speeds amplified by the latest Wi-Fi equipment. Get on the fast track to a powerful online experience. Contact Endeavor and supercharge your internet today.
Again?
Tortured by technology? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with Speed Geeks. Our Speed Geeks are expert technicians ready to rescue you from technology troubles. Our experts are here to get and keep your Wi-Fi running properly. We'll even make sure all of your devices stay connected. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications. Technology for real people.
49-0, your score at halftime here at Wildman Field on the campus of South Putnam High School. All Eagles in that first half. Rob and Jared, the rest of our ISC crew back with you here. Thanks for joining us on this opening night of high school football across the state of Indiana. Taking a look at South Putnam, Jared, it was all Eagles right from the start as Ty Benton scored the first touchdown of the game from 30 yards out. North Putnam, they fumble, picked up by the Eagles. One play later, Benton's into the end zone again. He then scores again after North Putnam threw an interception. And before you knew it, before the first quarter was up, Ty Benton had 3 rushing touchdowns. Cook had another one. It was 28-0 at the end of the first quarter. Klein got a passing touchdown in there as he found Styles Stouch. And then the backups came in. And Calvert finds Enzer for a touchdown. And then on the defensive side, Blake Witt with the pick 6. Those are those 7 touchdowns for the Eagles in the first 24 minutes of play.
And truthfully, Rob, outside of Styles Stouch with the receiving touchdown to open up that second quarter, a lot of guys that called their name a year ago in that state championship run are all guys that made the plays. We talk about the rushing touchdowns by Ty Benton. We talk about Kason Ames getting an interception. We talk about Blake Witt getting a fumble recovery and a pick 6. Like a lot of guys, Branson Enzer, as you talked about, a lot of guys that were already in these positions last year are the guys that are leading the charge, which is what you want to see from a senior-led team, not so much just the seniors, but guys that have been around the program. And so that has to be a welcome sight for all those in attendance. I heard someone say, I'm just as nervous as I was for the state championship game. And that's only because when you don't know what the team is going to look like, you can only go off of first impression. Yeah. And so far, the first impression has been Coach Sorrell has these guys ready to play, and they're primed to make a lot of noise, although there are challenges ahead of them.
On the other side, North Putnam, we knew coming in. Coach Moore knew coming in. You only have a handful of returners from last year's starting lineup on this Cougar squad. And so he knew it was going to be a challenge coming into this game, and a lot of penalties, a lot of unforced errors early on in that first quarter, and then they just couldn't get anything going on offense when you have a fumble, an interception, and a fumble within a minute of each other. It's hard to get something going.
The reality is he has a team that's just not calloused. They're not calloused in varsity experience. They're not calloused in getting hit hard and blocking hard and fighting through fatigue and some pain and some bumps and some bruises. And so when you have an inexperienced team, the concern is when you get punched in the face, obviously figuratively, how are you going to respond? And so far, it's not been a great response. There was a response in the back part of that second quarter. And so ultimately, you understand that you have a young bunch of guys that haven't played a lot of football, but you have to teach through these moments. Although it got ugly, and it may continue to get ugly in this second half, right the ship by keeping guys focused on chasing improvement, because there can be improvement when you turn on the tape in 9 weeks. When you get ready for the playoffs, you can say, hey, look at how we started and look where we are right now.
We will have a running clock when we start the second half. A beautiful Friday night here in Greencastle, Indiana. Sun starting to set, and it's all Eagles. 49-0, your halftime score. We'll take another break. We'll be back in a moment here on the ISC Sports Network.
Irritated by your internet provider? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with eForce high-speed internet. Download speed? No problem. Download an HD movie in seconds with our remarkable gigabit speed. Endeavor not only provides the latest fiber optic technology, we're also here to help you use it. We also provide television, wireless, security, and telephone services with outstanding local support. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications. Technology for real people.
And little volley, oh my goodness, what a touch for the goal. Jumped over by Lawrence North, and they'll score on it. Oh my goodness, give it to him. Rolls through the lane, and he ducks him. Oh my goodness.
Food, shelter, fast Wi-Fi. It's all we really need. Good thing Endeavor has the fast, reliable internet it takes to power all the Wi-Fi hungry gadgets in your home. All at once. With speeds up to 10 gig, get smooth HD streaming video, gaming, music, and surfing, all with no waiting, no buffering, no kidding. Call or click weendeavor.com and upgrade to Indiana's fastest internet today.
It's time to supercharge your internet with ridiculous speeds up to 1 gig from Endeavor. Get ready for high gear downloads that power buffer-free streaming, gaming, sharing, and surfing. And fire up all your devices at once with reliable speeds amplified by the latest Wi-Fi equipment. Get on the fast track to a powerful online experience. Contact Endeavor and supercharge your internet today.
At Mulberry Telecommunications, it doesn't matter whether you play from home, learn from home, or work from home. We have you covered with fiber-fast internet. Whether you video chat to stay connected with friends and family, or operate a small business, you can do so with the reliability that Mulberry Telecommunications fiber internet provides. From streaming video to regular web surfing, the possibilities really are endless. And that's a reason for all of us to celebrate. Packages start at just $49.95. Visit mintel.net to sign up today.
Again?
Tortured by technology? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with Speed Geeks. Our Speed Geeks are expert technicians ready to rescue you from technology troubles. Our experts are here to get and keep your Wi-Fi running properly. We'll even make sure all of your devices stay connected. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications, technology for real people.
A lot to be happy about, to cheer and dance. If you are an Eagle fan, 49-0, our halftime score. Rob Conant, Jared Thomas, the rest of our ISC crew back with you here in Greencastle. As we take a look at some highlights, and bear with us, there are a lot when it comes to South Putnam. They come out celebrating the 2025 state championship, and they picked up where they left off. Ty Benton, it didn't take him long to find the house.
Special talent he is. As soon as he gets the football, as you see here, it's just one cut. I'm getting downhill, and I'm strong enough to take on multiple hits and still be in good shape, as we see some great defensive prowess by this Eagles team. Kason Ames getting an interception. Briar Cook getting into the end zone. There's that Drew Klein finding his receiver-style stouch down the field for what was the only passing touchdown in that first quarter. Second quarter, that was, as this South Putnam Eagles team just attacked from all angles.
Get it done on the offensive side, get it done on the defensive side. And then the backup quarterback comes in, Calvert. Able to get the job done in that second quarter. North Putnam was able to get something going. They had a few first downs in a row, but then it was the pick six. Blake Witt taking it the other way to get the 7th touchdown of the night for South Putnam as they lead it 49-0. When you look at the last 10 years when these two teams have met up again, 1 year ago, it was 53-33, the final score, with South Putnam coming on top. But again, last 9 matchups, North at one point had won 4 in a row, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, and then South was able to get the win 56-27 back in 2020. They won 3 straight. It's a rivalry that goes back a long, long time, but here tonight in the latest edition of this Putnam County rivalry, it is all South Putnam. 49-0, your score at the break. We'll take one more timeout, and then we'll get ready for the second half. You're watching high school football on the ISC Sports Network.
Irritated by your internet provider? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with eForce high-speed internet. Download speed? No problem. Download an HD movie in seconds with our remarkable gigabit speed. Endeavor not only provides the latest fiber optic technology, we're also here to help you use it. We also provide television, wireless, security, and telephone services with outstanding local support. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications, technology for real people.
And little volley, oh my goodness, what a touch for the goal. Jumped over by Lawrence North, and they'll score on it. Oh my goodness, give it to him. Rolls through the lane, and he knocks him. Oh my goodness.
Food, shelter, fast Wi-Fi. It's all we really need. Good thing Endeavor has the fast, reliable internet it takes to power all the Wi-Fi hungry gadgets in your home. All at once. With speeds up to 10 gig, get smooth HD streaming video, gaming, music, and surfing, all with no waiting, no buffering, no kidding. Call or click WeEndeavor.com and upgrade to Indiana's fastest internet today.
It's time to supercharge your internet with ridiculous speeds up to 1 gig from Endeavor. Get ready for high gear downloads that power buffer-free streaming, gaming, sharing, and surfing. And fire up all your devices at once with reliable speeds amplified by the latest Wi-Fi equipment. Get on the fast track to a powerful online experience. Contact Endeavor and supercharge your internet today.
At Mulberry Telecommunications, it doesn't matter whether you play from home, learn from home, or work from home. We have you covered with fiber-fast internet. Whether you video chat to stay connected with friends and family, or operate a small business, you can do so with the reliability that Mulberry Telecommunications fiber internet provides. From streaming video to regular web surfing, the possibilities really are endless. And that's a reason for all of us to celebrate. Packages start at just $49.95. Visit mintel.net to sign up today.
Again?
Tortured by technology? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with Speed Geeks. Our Speed Geeks are expert technicians ready to rescue you from technology troubles. Our experts are here to get and keep your Wi-Fi running properly. We'll even make sure all of your devices stay connected. Give us a call or visit WeEndeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications. Technology for real people.
49-0, your halftime score. Welcome back to South Putnam High School. Rob Conant, Jared Thomas, and the rest of our IHSAA crew with you here on week 1 of the high school football season across the state of Indiana. During the break, the marching band here at South Putnam High School performed at halftime. First time in 20 years they have had a marching band.
I think it's wonderful timing.
Yeah.
Especially after the season that they had last year. No bigger platform than the football team starting things off in the fall. So everyone is just joining in on what is just serious momentum for this school and their athletics.
Special time here at South Putnam High School. They revealed the state championship sign, the banner, outside the stadium before the game. But like Coach Sorrell told us earlier this week, hey, day 1 of summer, we were on to 2026.
But when we had that discussion about, you know, what exactly did we want to ask them, I'm always curious into the mindset of the coaches and the players and what they're passing down to the masses in their locker room, because part of this, a huge part of this game is mental. And if that's not addressed, the physical can be as good as you want it to be, but if you're not mentally ready for the challenges that are going to come, for how to handle success, because that's a mental aspect of the game as well, then you're just truly setting yourself up for failure. So I love that there was a start and stop point, stopping previous success and conversations about it, and the start point of looking ahead to what's in front of them for 2026. Ultimately, you have to put your full focus on what's in front of you, because if you don't, that's when this team comes out of nowhere and beats you when you least expect it. And that can cause a ripple effect from there. So you always want to make sure you're staying on your P's and Q's. And so far, so good from Coach Sorrell's group. Obviously mistakes that I know they want to clean up, but ultimately,